Human behavior on marriage and divorce, and is marriage involving more of emotion than logic? I think both of them are involved, both emotional, emotions put into it as well as logic. Because for logic, this is a lifetime journey, supposedly, that someone you are going to share the rest of your life with and needs a sincere, assessment, and it's a big decision to make, even to make that choice. But because of the high emotion that is involved when it's, starting from the time of dating to the time of the process of courtship and engagement before the marriage itself is consummated, a lot of emotions is involved, exchange of gifts, lots of love talks, date nights, and sharing, life stories, love stories, and life journeys together, just to know one another, who you are going to share the rest of your life with, do's and don'ts, what to appreciate in one another. But as much as emotion is involved, it is important as well, to put more of logic into it, especially because it's something that involves, a journey of lifetime. And this is the reason why I'm asking that question, and I will appreciate, to people's opinions, ideas, thoughts in the comment section about marriage. That the people go into marriage with more of emotion than logic into it in making this decision of a lifetime. I checked some articles, because of the concerned relationship with divorce and the impact, in mental health. Many of the clients that we see, and some maybe in their lifetime, because there are some mental health that if people are not in some situations, even though it is genetic, it is a kind of hereditary, um, implicated, they may never, have that condition, coming up at that time, if they do not go through some situations like overwhelming situations and all that affect, them, making them to break down mentally. So there are some people like that, like that mental illness traits, it's going to like a kind of into a kind of not showing up at all, until when situations come up in their life. And in the articles that I said, I gathered, few articles I saw that I was surprised with high rates of divorce in different countries of the world, and I see as high as 86%, almost 90 in some countries. Some also they are in like maybe their high 70s, like 74%, 69%, 71% in some countries. Some are in 50%, 48, and it goes like that from one country to the other, different countries. Some are in, 30 something percentage, and just like that. And the lowest I could see in all these country rates of divorce in different countries, the lowest is between 16 to 17%. And that is why I am very curious about this, to ask people's opinion, their thoughts, their ideas, that people need to put more work, more energy, like logic, finding out, not getting into the marriage itself before a lot of important discoveries are made. Yeah, like because most of the time everything goes smoothly, although in some there's always an outlier, some exceptions that people see the red flag during the time of courtship, but they just ignore it, and then it's blow up after the marriage. But a lot of people, it comes like a surprise, both to the people, that are in the relationship and their family members, that they never know this individual to be like this. And at times it ends, in an unpleasant story, like, story of abuse, story of violence, story of neglect, even at times, injuries, or even ending the life of one or the other. And we should understand that as human beings, we are made of nature and nurture. The nature is the genetic, the family, our personality, our temperament, our traits, family inheritance, that is by biological properties that we inherited from our parents, from our family, all those, it's in our behavior, it's made us who we are, our personality. And then the other one is the nurture, which is the environment. The environment is able to shape, who we are. And all this, from our family, from our community, is really important that we do not close eyes to all this, and then we trash it out while they still during the journey, into the marriage, before the marriage itself, why during the dating, the courtship, the engagement, or the process of getting there. And that will help, to keep people together into marriage, or making people the important aspects, into mental health concerns, because children that are brought up, like in a lot of people, as I've said, that we see, and according to studies, research, and um, individual experiences, in mental health, people consult, because of the trauma they've gone through, because they say, oh, things were going on in the family until their parent divorced, maybe when they were still children, and apart from the stress of even fighting for custody, but it doesn't go well with the children. They feel, the absence of dad in their life, or the absence of mom in their life, because of separation, because of divorce, because of violence, because of whatever has happened into that marriage. And I said, biologically, at times a lot of people, they have some genetic loading, related to mental health, that should have been discovered during the time, of the dating. Maybe people that have mental health concerns, like serious, mood issues, mood concerns, bipolar, schizophrenia. It may not be their fault, but when it is known on time, during the time of dating and courtship, you can direct this individual, to seek help, to seek attention, until when it is fully blown up, because it's a phase, it's a new phase of life. People getting married, before they get adjusted to this new role that they found themselves. Before then, everyone, they are single, they are individual. I sleep at whatever time I want. I'm not accountable to anyone. I can choose to travel, and from maybe my trip, go to work and all that. But when you are married, it's not. You have to be accountable to your partner and all that. And this, is a lot for some people to deal with. Now that they are married, they've forgotten, the new role completely, that they are now a married person, and some other person may not take it lightly. So in marriage, it is important, understanding commitment, to be intentional. It's like you go to school. It's not that the day you get the certificate, you forget about learning. For any individual to be successful in life, even no matter the height of your education, in business, in career, in whatever, you continue to do the same thing that gets you that success. No matter what, like, you've gone to school, even you're a professor, you continue to study, and because there will always be more discovery, new things, the life is always evolving. And the same thing in marriage. The marriage, the wedding day is not the end of the relationship, that, oh, okay, now I got what I want, we are now married, and all the efforts we are making during the time of courtship, you push that aside. No, it is even then that the commitment needs to go higher, to higher level, to continue to understand each other, know that you are from different background. As we have said, before, because you are married to this individual, it's not going to change the individual overnight. Everyone has their own background. Everyone has their own family, their rituals, their own, the practices in their family, the way they do things. But coming together as two, you need to understand each other, to be patient with each other. The love should continue, and what love is to accommodate one another and adjust to the other person, and put yourself in the position of the other person, and to be tolerant, with one another. And always communication is important. What you don't like, if this one says like this, and then you don't want it, you speak up. You may not really, it's not good to be confrontational, but find a time when the other person, will accept, your you're speaking up your concerns that, oh, I would prefer, this way and all that, and then to continue to respect one another, is very, very important. And this, will help you continue to nurture that relationship, so that it will, grow out positively. And anyone need, the help, the support, the assistance of one another. Yeah, you put in, all those work, it will continue to help, because the divorce is never an answer, to any relationship, any marriage. Instead, especially when children are involved, it's bring problem. It's bring problems. So the way you have nurtured it during the time of premarital period, the same thing, or to higher level, as we have said. And then, the bond, the love, and that is even the irony or the surprise aspect, that even when people, after breakup or something, then they still continue to go back to the ex. And then even if they've gone to another relationship, it's continue, to bring a problem in the new relationship. So while you were in the original relationship, why can't you nurture it? Why can't you be patient? Why can't you understand? Yeah, it is important, just like whatever work you are doing. It's not the day you get the offer letter that you say, oh, I got what I want. You continue to put in the work, continue to show up every time for you to get paid, for your job. The same thing. If you see your relationship like that, like, it's like an investment, it's like a project, and you continue to put in your all in it. It's a long life, long term relationship. It's a life, journey that you're going to work with this person, and see yourself, in the space of the other, that, if I fail, this individual has failed. If I succeed, this individual has succeed. Because in marriage, two becomes one. Whichsoever, you now continue to bear, the same surname, you continue to live together under the same roof. So everything, you should be united in everything, for yourself, for this love of yourself, and for the love of, if you choose to have children, that you bring, and even your family, your extended family, your parents and all that. Everybody will be, will be united together. And I think the world will be a better place, of where there is harmony, where there is peace, where there is love, and everyone, we are able to grow together and make the world a happy place for us. And there are some other people too, as I've talked about the biological, probably they have some mental health concerns that they need treatment, intervention, support. So also, due to the nurture, the environment, the community that people grow up with, that's the environment. Someone that comes from a broken home, someone that comes from a home, of some habit, like late night, or like irresponsible person, or maybe like into alcohol, into drug, whatever has pushed them that, to that should be discovered on time, and treatment should be sought, so that you can have peace. Other than that, it gets into what we see, like violence, intimate partner violence, neglect, abuse, and all kind of negative things, which, we can make the other person too to break down when they are not able, to deal with, to accommodate all those overwhelming situations from day to day. Because marriage is not what, it's not like, you go on a temporary vacation. It's every day of you get up today, wake up today, you start, with trouble. Tomorrow you start with another violence. Next tomorrow you start with trauma. And the brain cannot take it. It has the extent of how long, the brain can take that before, everything is going to everything is not going to come out well. And that is when people come up with depression, with anxiety, with trauma, with whatever mental illness that they have before, that is not showing up. All these things is able to make people, that have predisposing factor, or the tendency, or the genetic loading, for mental health. So let's understand that this is important. When people are planning marriage, put logic into it. That is not, just like a temporary vacation. It's not a temporary relationship. And when you see the red flag, a broken engagement is better than a broken a broken marriage, and you can see, you know, what happened in United States recently, that somebody that, you know, was already ex, like marriage of over 7 years, and was still able to go after that individual and get rid of the lady and the new husband, and they're making the two young kids that they have, you know, to become orphan. A lot of terrible things, you know, that we see like that, because probably people have underlying mental health concerns that was not discovered during their courtship. They are narcissist, they are sociopath, they are psychopath. They have one kind of problem or the other that needed to be sorted out, needed intervention. So we are bringing this awareness, you know, this education. This video is just for educational purpose, and I will look forward to your thoughts, your idea, to your comments. What do you say to this? That to make our world a happy place, people should give more attention, you know, to they should pay attention to their relationship during courtship, and then be patient with one another so that their love can last, you know, their life too can be peaceful, and they can enjoy life together. My name is Dr. Debbie. I'm a mental health clinician, and I appreciate, you know, I love to bring stories like this to people, you know, for educational purposes, to um, ensure, you know, people are aware of what is going on, what the study is saying, what statistics is saying. This is really alarming. If it is happening like this, you know, in different countries of the world, then we need to do things differently to make our world a happy place. Thank you so much for your attention. Till I come your way again in the next video, have a positive mental health. Thank you. Bye.